Hey there, today I'd like to talk about the pros and cons of different types of roofing materials available to you. There's a lot of different things: shingles, cedar, slate, metal. It's like, which one should I choose when I'm getting my roof replaced and why? Now, if you're interested in kind of knowing what's on your roof now or what style of roof you have, we have another video that I shot earlier about that, so please take a look at that. That'll be helpful for you to determine kind of the specific styles of roofs available to you. All right, so we'll start with asphalt shingles because that's the most common roofing material type for homes here in Pennsylvania and throughout a lot of the United States. So the pros for the asphalt shingles are they're super readily available from different manufacturers. Another pro with asphalt shingles is they're pretty simple to be repaired. Asphalt shingles come in these small pieces and you can literally take one out and put another one in if one gets ripped or something like that. Asphalt shingles have become more and more resistant to things like fire and wind damage, as well as impact resistance also. So speaking of impact resistance, shingles are decent, but they're not nearly as good as some other materials, specifically for hail. Asphalt shingles are probably not the best choice. What happens is if you get especially dense hail or large hail, the hail impacts the shingle and it knocks the granules off, exposing the underlying fiberglass surface of the shingle, which then will cause the shingle to break down. Another thing is they're not necessarily a green or environmentally friendly material. They're made of asphalt, they're hard to recycle, so that's something to think about also. Because it's a fairly simple product to work with, there are a lot of guys out there, and especially, think of like a handyman who does an occasional roof or something like that. They can be installed wrongly. There's one way to install them right, there's 10 ways to install them wrong. And so they're pretty susceptible to being installed poorly. Okay, next material is metal. Metal lasts longer than shingles, so you can get a truly lifetime metal, and oftentimes I've seen metal over 100 years old on some dwellings. So metal lasts a long time. You can install it, if the paint fades after 40, 50 years, you just repaint it or recoat it and it's still good to go. So the life expectancy on a metal roof is much longer typically than what you would have on a shingle roof. You can get them in almost any color you want: red, green, brown, black, white. You can kind of customize your roof color very well with a metal roof. So another thing with installing a metal roof, if you're in your forever home, metal might be a great option. One, because it looks great. Another one is because there's some thermal resistance benefits to metal as opposed to shingles. Shingles tend to absorb more sunlight and heat, whereas metal, it's a smoother surface, will tend to reflect the sun's rays and keep your house cooler, especially in the summer. Another pro for metal is if this is your long-term home, the return on investment is good. So instead of installing 2 shingle roofs, say over the lifetime of the home, 1 metal roof at the beginning, even though upfront costs are more, you should be able to see that value come back to you over the lifetime of the home because it lasts a lot longer. So cons of metal roofing, like I said, it does cost more upfront. So you want to be aware of that. It lasts a lot longer. It is nicer than a lot of other roofing products, but it is somewhat more costly as an upfront investment. Another thing with metal is while it resists impact very well from hail and falling branches if you have trees and stuff over the house, it's probably not going to be punctured or compromised in that way where it's going to leak. Metal roofs withstand impact very well as far as penetration. The impact probably won't penetrate through the metal, but you'll probably see it as a dent. However, along with that, if the metal is painted, an impact from a hailstone may cause the paint to chip or crack, which could compromise your metal. If you have to repair a metal roof, that's typically a lot harder to do because the metal comes in big panels or sheets as opposed to small pieces like a shingle that you can just pull out and put back in. So it's much more labor intensive. It's definitely possible. Okay, so slate. Nothing like good old slate. It is very heavy, so if you're building a new home, you got to make sure that the structure you build can support the weight of this slate. It's super impact resistant. So all of the things that often affect a metal roof or a shingle roof or a cedar roof are not going to affect the slate roof. Now, on the cons of the slate roof, because of its weight and because of how it's installed, it is pretty labor intensive to install and takes a lot of experience. And so you're going to find the upfront cost of a slate roof to be a lot more than, say, a shingle or a metal roof would be. All right, now cedar, or commonly known as wood shakes or cedar shingles or wood shingles. It comes in different thicknesses, different widths, as we'll see here. The pros of this are really Mostly the look. There's nothing like a wood cedar look on your roof. It looks beautiful, it ages beautifully, it goes well with copper accents. Again, it's going to be more expensive than a metal or a shingle roof because it's quite labor intensive to install. A good cedar roof should last you 25 to 35 or maybe even 40 years. Now on the con side of a cedar roof, obviously it's wood and wood tends to burn easily, right? So it's not fire resistant. It can be coated with fire resistance coating and stuff like that, but you just kind of end up getting into more costs and lose some of the look and so forth. Another con with cedar roofing is for the price that it costs up front, the longevity is not that great. If the contractor's not careful about which grade you get, you could get shingles that easily cup, meaning the bottom curls up over time, or warped, meaning the sides of the shingle start warping up, which looks really ugly and is not watertight. And that can happen in as little as 5 to 8 years after they're installed. So you really want to be sure that when you get a cedar roof, you get premium grade certified red cedar shingles, because otherwise you're going to run into problems. So there you have it, some pros and cons for asphalt, metal, slate, cedar. Those are the kind of the common roof types for steep roofs here in North America. Hopefully this is helpful and you can kind of decide which way you want to go based on these pros and cons of the roofing materials. Thanks for watching.